Hi, my name is N. Mukoma. I'm doing my practical assessment on induction training this afternoon. Thanks for watching, and these are my volunteers who are going to help me with this assessment. And they are going to give permission to be recorded.
Yep, give permission to be recorded.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is N. Mukoma. I'm the new City Community Service Manager, and I'm going to conduct mainstream induction training. Thanks for coming. Well, today we are going to talk about some topics we're going to talk about some topics that I'm going to read just in a moment. Yeah.
Stop making noises.
Well, our first topic will be about communication strategies, policies, and procedures on how to promote programs to clients. Well, before I carry on, I'll just ask one of the group members to tell me if they have anything to say on this topic. It's just I would like to know how can you go about promoting programs to your client.
I guess if you're looking at a group of people in the community,
Yeah.
The first thing you'd have to do is to find out what they wanted or needed. So you'd have to survey the community people, maybe do a survey of the other organisations who were helping people, and then try and discover if there were any gaps or niches that you could actually then put some organisational work into meeting needs that perhaps weren't being met.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
That's a good answer. Actually, that was part of my training session today. Like I mentioned that as well. Like you have to find out what are the needs in the community, and you could also create a website and put a link there so that they can actually get the information that they need. And when you put those information, you have to put consideration of things as confidentiality when you publishing those information on the website, or if you have created, the other thing that you could do is if you have created a Facebook page, which is very common in this time where people like posting things on Facebook, you have to kind of create graphics or images that will attract your target or your potential clients, and you could also put a well done video of like previous testimonial, like people who have been part of that actual program, and they're now telling of their experience to others. You could put those type of videos just to build the trust of the viewers. Do you all agree with me?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good idea.
Well, now we'll move to our next topic, which is policies and procedures on the management of legal and ethical breaches. I've got a few situations that I've actually like looked at, and I'll just read some of these situations and then ask if you have anything to say about them. And my first situation is you are working with a mother and you notice that they've brought their child and the child has got bruises on their face, and this lady has a history of domestic violence with her new partner. What do you think that you could do in that situation? Do you think you could maybe report it, or what do you think?
Well, you'd have to do something about it. So I don't know whether you'd have to talk to her first or whether you'd have to report it first.
Yeah, you could also ask her first and find out what happened to her child. That's a good answer. You could ask her first, and then if she cannot explain the situation to, or she cannot give you a clear explanation, that means that something is actually suspicious about the situation, and then you could talk to your supervisor about it. And I don't know if John has anything to add on to.
No, that's probably pretty right. You just have to think about
The
what
duty of-
your policies and procedures are for the organisation,
Yes,
and then at what point you think about reporting it to child safety.
yeah, that's right. You have to follow your organization policies and procedures. If it says that you have to, you as a directly as a supervisor, you have to report that you could call the police or the child safety officer. But then if it says that you have to first talk to your supervisor, that will be one of the things that you could do. Well, my second, actually my second situation is about the client that tells you that they've been having suicide thoughts, but they would like you to keep that as a secret. But you being as a case manager or a supervisor, you know that your duty of care is to protect that client, and you know that you can't keep it as a secret. What are you going to do? Because you can't wait until the next shift to report her. So
Probably one of the first things I would do is I would remind the person that in the intake forms they signed was actually a confidentiality form that specified when confidentiality wasn't applicable, and in this sort of, if there's a concern that they might hurt themselves, then that's actually not covered by the confidentiality things. So, but also I wanted to find out if it was just a statement that they made, or whether they were actually having some level of suicidal thinking. So, like how serious it actually was. So I would
conduct
run
a risk assessment.
Yeah, I'd run a risk assessment.
That's right.
And maybe ask them directly whether they're actually thinking about committing suicide, and then seeking to build a picture of how serious, with the risk assessment, try to work out what sort of level it was, and then take that further action based on that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think that you could do that, and you could also just talk to your supervisor about it, so that you can come up with the best solution to that. And my last situation that I have, my last legal and ethical situation that I have is, you have observed two of your workmates having an argument in the office, and they actually get into a fight. So what I think I would do is to make sure that the security guard is there, and we can separate them and talk to my supervisor about it. And that's what I would say. Report it. I don't know if you have anything to add.
No,
That's straightforward.
Yeah.
Thank you. We're going to move to our next topic, which is the benefit of diversity in the workplace. I'm going to talk about the benefits. So a diverse workforce is good because it gives you an opportunity to have different solutions or different skills from different people from different backgrounds. And employees from different backgrounds bring different, like, individual talents and experience which the company can benefit from. So, and there's also a better performance that comes with diversity. So those are the benefits. And I don't know if John, you have something else that you can add on to to benefit of diversity?
I think it's really good because with different cultures, people get to see things through different eyes,
Yes.
and it can help develop empathy in working with people, and can help different people understand other cultures and other races, and builds a broader understanding within the company, and helps people to work with clients better as they understand them more.
So it brings about productivity in other ways, and fulfilling workplaces, because people are happy with the work. And it reduces the high cost that comes with workplace exclusion. So
also one of the other benefits is the different foods that different cultures bring.
That's right.
So which is an important part of life.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I like it when we have different cultural background, and then we have events taking place in the workplace, and then we get to eat different type of foods. That's right.
It's good.
Yeah. So how do you think we can promote and manage diversity within our workplace?
I think having some fun. So having some events that encourage people to be able to talk about or demonstrate something from their culture, or that can be a value added thing in the workplace. And
it's also a good thing because it helps you learn something about a different culture to yours. And the other thing that we could do is to educate employees and conduct training session about other cultures, and put individuals together in work groups. Those are the things that we can do to promote that, and create ways to enhance good and reduce stereotypes that people might have at the workplace. One other thing we could do is just make sure that we have multicultural inclusion, decision making at the workplace, and make sure that there's also materials that are written in other languages rather than English. So that's one of the things that we can do to promote diversity within the workplace. So as a supervisor, you have a role in emergency situations. So what you should do as supervisor is to have knowledge of emergency procedures for your site, for your company, and ensure that all workers under your supervision are aware of the procedures included in the procedures including early warning of evacuation. So this can be in case of fire, for example. We have to ensure that all workers are aware of who the fire wardens and the first aid officers are, and ensure that they have been trained and have practiced emergency procedures. We have to ensure that maintenance of all equipment such as fire extinguishers, warning systems, and emergency lighting and exits are all maintained to a good
and that everyone knows where the assembly areas are.
Exactly, and then also be trained to use those fire extinguishers. So still in the case of fire, this is what you do. You do not panic, and you do not shout. You remain calm, and you remember that you only rescue people if it's safe to do so. And you have to raise the fire alarm. And when you evacuate the building, be sure that the doors have no heat on them, or make sure that there's no fire on the other side of the door. If there is smoke in the air, stay low on the ground, and especially make sure that your head or does not get inhalation or get exposure to the fire, the smoke. Once you are aware and clear from the danger, call for help and report to the fire officers, and go to the refuge area where everyone is supposed to be. So, do you have any questions or anything else to say?
No.
Okay. We almost at the end of our training, and our last topic, which is work health and safety, which I've already started talking about the fire emergencies and stuff. And we're going to talk about the personal protective equipment and when to use them. It is important to utilize or to use standard precaution in the care of all the clients. Standard precaution apply to blood, all body fluids, secretion, and except for sweat. All workers have to use personal protective equipment, and for this I'm talking about gloves when touching blood. You have to use gloves when touching body fluid and secretion. And the reason why you use the gloves is to protect you from infection, and you have to change the gloves after you see that they've been soiled or torn or punctured. So the work health and safety consultation policy talks about regulation or procedures, such as all supervisors must take part in regular work health and safety consultation, and this involves identifying hazards, assessing risks, making decisions about ways to get rid or minimize those risks, making decisions about adequacy of facilities of the welfare of workers, proposing changes that may affect the health and safety of workers, making decisions on health and safety procedures. So those are the requirements that you have to follow. Do you have any questions on the work health?
No.
Well, we've come to the end of our training session, and thank you for coming and joining me today.
Thank you. Thank you for all
Thank
your
you.
advice and teaching.
That was 18 minutes and 27